Conversations with Marc and Devi, the mediums. Marc Stuart, the Scottish medium. Devi Wolf, the smallest medium. Conversations on topical subjects. On subjects other mediums would not dare talk about, but we do. The Marc Stuart Medium Network, demonstrating, discussing, and training in Scottish-style mediumship.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, too.
Yeah, we really should have made more about Halloween, given that we're broadcasting on the 30th, and I doubt anybody's going to turn up to watch us because they'll all be...
Today's the 29th, actually, but...
Oh, right, okay, I've got my dates mixed up. Sorry, I'm running around like a headless chicken these days.
We've got 2 more days, yeah.
However, I'm going to really upset Devi about talking about one of their favourite topics, witchcraft and mediumship.
Oh, here we go.
I was away on a guided tour of, God, I can't remember the name, King Mary's Close, which is a haunted location in Edinburgh, off the scale, major tourist attraction these days. Anyway, that aside, while I was on it, the guide told me yet another Scottish first that I wasn't aware of. So, Devi, it's on the subject of witchcraft, and this is actually quite a big one.
Okay.
Scotland, another first for Scotland. Don't worry, it wasn't burning people or anything like that. But basically, it is, or was, we invented the terminology coven.
Okay.
So, all coven around the world. The first official use of the terminology coven, and it wasn't a trial. So, I mean, somebody did die because of it, but put that aside.
So somebody was burned.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that was a first. I'm just saying this poor soul that got burned as a witch.
So you came up with... So the Scots came up with the word in order to burn another innocent woman. Oh, boy.
Did I just walk into Marc starting a coven?
Yeah, Marc starting a coven. That's right.
Yeah.
Covens were invented in Scotland. So all you witchcraft practitioners around the world that are calling yourself covens, the terminology, the word coven, the first official coven, was here in Scotland.
Official time the word was used. Not the first official coven, because I'm sure there wasn't one.
Well, it was official because it was recognised in a court as we found the woman guilty of witchcraft and burned her. But that...
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure that was true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That was for true today.
I'll tell you more about it later. Good news and bad news. If you haven't read the text,
okay.
put it in the chat, in the Telegram. Anyway, folks, it's time for news. So let me find my media assets and let me shove it up. You know what I'm going to do?
But news and information. There it is. See, I told you.
Yeah. You need to lower your head a wee bit because it's too high up now that we've got D here.
Yeah. Okay, I'll sit over here.
I'll there you go. There you can see. Mind you, it looks quite good through the clouds. I'm the Scottish medium.
Wow, your head's really in the clouds, Marc.
Yeah.
Always. Right, news. Right, first off, the big bit. Our Scottish Celtic ends tonight. This is the last official event about Scottish Celtic. There is an event on Sunday, which is a big one. We've already got 40 people registering. That's 40, but we want another 20. It doesn't mean that 40 people are going to turn up. It'll be the usual. Usually about half the people that register come. So that means we've got 20 people coming. We really need 40 people coming. So we need to get 60 to 80 people to register. So it's rapid fire. It's me trying to get 100 readings. Never done it yet because I've never had enough people logging on to do it. So if we get enough people, I'm going to have a serious attempt to do 100 readings in 2 or thereabout hours. It's going to be chaired by Devi. Dee will be around to help. But we really do need another 20 bodies. So please, if you know anybody, I don't care if they're spiritualists, I don't care if they want a reading, just go, tell them that they're coming. If you've got family members, drag them out. If you've got a partner, drag them, hit them on the head, knock them unconscious, sit them in front of a camera, waken them up, and I'll give them a reading. With their
Okay, that
permission.
sounds good. Wait till I do that to my husband, and then he gets mad at me.
What else? A lot going on in the background. The Patreon site is up and running, fully up and running.
Yay.
We have tweaked it slightly. We now have 2 paths for people. For people that only want readings, for $75, you will get a reading from me, Devi, or Dee every month. Now, come on, where on earth are you going to get a reading for $75? I charge that for about a quarter-hour reading. I charge $200 for a full reading. So you're actually, if you do it, if it's me that you get that month, and it'll be a different one of us each month, that's $125 discount. So don't say that I'm not offering people value for money. And I'm a good medium. So there you go. What more can I say?
There you go.
These two are not as good as me, but they're still worth the $75.
Right.
Right. So if you go onto Patreon, you'll find 6 different levels. The first one is free. So if you're watching this on Patreon, this is free. Don't worry, we're not going to charge you for this. Lots of other material going on to Patreon. I'm not saying don't go to the website, but the website points you to Patreon. So you may as well go to the Patreon. Just go on Patreon and search for us, or the link that we'll put up with this. Next month, not next month. Well, yeah, it's next month. It'll be November. But next week, we start another 3-month heading of all our content. And watch Devi's face. It's AI and spiritualism, AI and mediumship, AI and the business of mediumship.
I have to suffer through 3 months of this stuff, y'all. So you better come and watch with me. It's only fair.
And the final bit of news, we have really upped the ante in terms of giving you information. Everything I just talked about regarding Patreon and every event, and we've extended the events. We're also including the dates and times of the development circles. Now, you have to be at the higher levels to get access to that, but it's all in one PDF document, which if you join the Telegram group, you'll be able to download. So go join the Telegram group. The links are all in the video at the end. And if you go to our website, I'll put a link up there. So that's markstuartmedium.com. So that'll guide you to the PDF. So it's about 8 pages. 2 pages of all the events for the next 3 months, and then 4 pages going into detail, all the different levels on Patreon and what you get for each one. We've done away with the idea of the training course. Everything is now subscription based around Patreon, and you can move up and down. So you can start at a low training level and you can move up to a high training level, or you can go for a high training level and then think, no, I want to cut it back and go to a lower level. We've tried to make it as easy as possible. Okay, so unless anybody else has got any other news, Devi, you want to tell us about your party on Saturday?
Oh, I'm having a ritual bonfire and drum circle on Saturday to celebrate Samhain. So,
and you're all invited. She'll post the address on her website.
If you're local, you are invited. So if you're local to Middle Tennessee, let me know. Send me a note.
A lot of people actually on the mailing list are in Tennessee. So do you want me to send them an invitation?
Well, Middle Tennessee. Otherwise, it's too far. Nobody needs to drive 4 hours.
Right. So subject tonight is very simple. We're rounding up everything about Scotland. And I'm going to make a very simple claim that these two are going to argue against. The worst Scottish medium or the medium Scottish medium would rank higher or as good as the good American mediums. Maybe not against the best ones, because I'll give the American mediums their due. There must be a few good ones out there, but I haven't met very many of them. So the average standard of mediumship that I have seen in Scotland outranks the average standard of mediumship in America by a factor of about 3, 4, 5 to 1. Ladies, your opinion?
Well, I have to say, I actually agree. Before I met Mark, I thought mediumship was a scam. Even though I spoke to spirits myself, I thought doing it for other people was a scam, because all the mediums that I saw on TV or elsewhere, they all called out and made it seem, and I felt like I could raise my hand for every spirit they contacted, and I just thought it was ridiculous.
Dee? You're on mute, Dee.
Dee.
I like her this way. Can we keep her that way, Devi?
Nice and quiet.
I would actually completely agree with Devi. That was pretty much the way I saw it as well.
We're supposed to be having an argument here. You're not supposed to be agreeing with me.
Dear. I'm not supposed to agree with you. Okay, well, say something that we don't agree with.
Okay, let me turn it on its head then. I'm gonna. Would the two of you agree that I am a good medium? Just don't go into ego. Just yes or no. Am I a good medium compared to what we see in America? Yes.
Yes.
Right. I'm going to argue the counter. I'm going to say I'm not. I'm going to say I'm an adequate medium, not a brilliant medium, because I know mediums here in Scotland that I would be ashamed to rank myself against, and not many.
Okay.
But there are a good number that I would say far outshine me. So I'm turning my ego on its head. Now, that's not a reason to come to me for training, because I'm probably the best trainer that I know. And that isn't ego speaking. That's just literal.
There is an ego. See his head just is growing a little bit. See it, notice it.
You see, this is where the two ladies have to argue against that and say that I'm a wonderful medium and boost my ego up, because I've said I'm not a good. Well, I haven't said I'm a bad medium, but
no. You said you were a good medium, but he thought of a few people that could outrank him. Yes, so yeah, he's putting himself in the top 10. So I'm not sure where that ego is.
No, I said at least a dozen. I was very specific.
Dozen. Excuse me. So he's putting himself in the top.
At least.
Top 15.
I mean, remember, we're talking about hundreds,
in the country,
if not thousands of mediums.
In the country.
In the country.
In the
whole
country.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, there's no ego there at all.
No ego. Absolutely no ego. Okay, well, what else can we argue about then? I mean, okay, let's go over the basics. Why is Scottish mediumship so good? Right. Well, Debbie covered the first bit, because we go direct. Full stop. Now, that's not just a difference between America and Scotland. England is probably, and it's only gut feeling, that it's probably 75-25, where 75% of mediumship is calling out, and 25, maybe a third of mediumship is going direct. So again, it's a big difference between Scotland and England. Evidential,
like Scotland and anywhere else, really.
Yeah. Debbie said evidential, and again, what is evidential? Like if I say I've got your mother and your mother loves you, you could argue that's evidential, but I would argue that's so vague. I mean, I have a talk line when I work on a church. You can actually see me if you go and watch one of my YouTube videos or go on Patreon. I've got one up of Debbie. Well, Debbie's not in the video. Debbie was filming it, but me working in East Aurora Spiritualist Temple in New York State last year in October. And my first opening line is, I'm not going to tell you that your mother loves, as an example, I'm not going to tell you that your mother loves you, because if you need to come to the church and hear that from the medium, then leave it to yourself. You're wasting my time.
Yes.
Different word. It was different wording, but that was the gist of what I was saying. So evidential would be, obviously, and I'm not talking about the evidence of of the spirit. I'm talking about the evidence of the message. It would be something like, you were involved in an argument this morning, late last night, early this morning. Does that make sense to you? Yes. The argument wasn't with your partner, but it was with somebody that you love, but not your partner. Does that make sense to you? Yes. And I would just keep going like that. And I would maybe talk about what the argument was about, and then tell the woman, say it's a woman, slap her across the face because she was wrong and the person she was arguing with was right. Now, again, that I would call evidential, because you're very specific. You're tying it down to a time. You're tying it down to something that happened. I mean, Debbie, how many times have you seen me on stage or platform give messages like that?
Oh, constantly, all the time.
Yeah. I mean, again, this sounds egotistical, but it's not, because every Scottish medium that I know would do the same. But the rapid fire event that we're doing, if anybody here doubts what I'm talking about, come to the rapid fire event on Sunday. I'm not going to quote the times. It's UK time, 8 p.m. Check on Google what your local time would be.
That is 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, etc., etc.
No, that's the wrong way around.
No, because our time changes.
Yeah, but
Two.
no, Eastern is first, so it's Eastern.
I
Central.
know I said it backwards, but two Central, 3 Eastern. 3 Eastern, 2 Central. Same thing.
Right, okay, so one mountain and Pacific. You came here to talk about mediumship, and here we are talking about time differentials between. I'll be talking about Doctor Who next, but never mind. Anyway, to get back to the point I was making, come to the Rapid Fire event and you'll see what I mean. Now, these are going to be short readings. These are not big, long readings, so I'm not going to be spending 10 minutes delving into, but it'll be short, factual messages that people will be able to understand and say, yes, that makes sense, or no, it doesn't. And the majority of them, the vast, vast majority of them, the people will say, yes, I guarantee it. And no, I'm not going to pay any penalties if that guarantee falls flat in my face. Just embarrassment. So what else can we say about Scottish mediumship? Well,
what I think about the Scottish style that I appreciate is that you go direct to the person, but you don't give a message until they confirm they know who you're talking about. And it doesn't even matter if you as the medium understand who it is. It still comes through. But like, I think that chunk is important, and you don't see that. Well, I haven't seen that a lot here anyway.
No, I haven't seen that here.
Yeah. I mean, we're not. This isn't a training video, but just so you understand what Dee's talking about, I always train people that when they're giving a message, there are 5 stages. Stage number 1, ask for permission to work. You don't jump in and give somebody a reading without that confirmation. Number 2, as Dee just said, you give evidence of the spirit. So I've got a woman, she's got white curly hair, she wears glasses. The glasses were very unusual. They're not sunglasses, but they look plastic like sunglasses. Can you understand a woman that wore glasses like that? You know, like that bold woman's glasses over there. Yes, that was mummy, that was auntie. Don't tell me anything more, but you can understand. Yes, okay. And just one final bit of confirmation. On a Sunday, she used to wear a green floral hat to church. Is that correct? Yes. Are you happy I've got granny, auntie, da-da-da? Yes. And then you get, as Dee said, you get the confirmation. And if you don't get that confirmation, you don't give the message. The number of times I've been working and I'm not happy that I've got the confirmation of the person, and the person shouts out, "Oh, I'll take the message anyway." And my reply to that is, well, I'm sorry, but if you can't accept who the spirit is, the message wasn't for you. There's somebody else here. It's my fault. I've gone to the wrong person. Can anybody else? And it's usually somebody sitting next to that person. You know, I've gone to the right clunk, but I've maybe gone one too far to the right, one too far to the left. That's not important. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. And then you give the evidential message, and then you close it. So you go through those 5 steps. Now, there's different reasons why you do each one of those, but the confirmation and the message is the singly most important bit of the message. So you're not giving the message to the wrong person, and you're not mixing the evidence and the message up. Because I've seen too many people, Americans, I've seen too many mediums come into our circles, and they chop and change between the message and the evidence, and they don't realize that the message is they're getting bits of the message as bits of the evidence, and bits of the evidence of the person is mixed up with the message. And the only word I can use for it is incompetence. Seriously.
Well, he's not very tactful, is he? But no, it's just not knowing what you're doing.
I think the difference would be that I don't think there's, in most readings here, I don't think very many people use a structured system to where there's different sections for it. So I think they're used to giving evidence and the message simultaneously, and it's more of like a lack of structure and style more than,
because
more
there
than
is
doing
no
different
like set training set for mediums here. It's not part of a structured religion. So everybody learns on their own.
Said he that has mentioned churches multiple times. I'd veer away from the religion, calling it a religion, because you have so few spiritualist churches in America. I mean, that's part of the problem. That's why you don't have.
That's why we don't have structured messages. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there are, like the Spiritual Temple of East Aurora. I mean, when we were there, I was actually flabbergasted because they were following the basic rules of the way that we work in Scotland. A lot of problems with it. I mean, it's not just a case of the churches are bad. I'm not going to say the churches are bad. It's not just a case that you don't have enough churches. Even the churches themselves, the way that they operate, doesn't encourage good mediumship. I mean, here's a big difference between Scotland and America on a direct comparison between the churches. The mediums that you go to see in the churches are not the church mediums. They're mediums from other churches. Or like, I'm not attached to a church just now, but when I work in a church, I am visiting that church. I mean, for example, I'm going down to Wales in May. Now, it's supposed to be a holiday, and Ying is coming, but my wife is coming with me, but I'm booked in 5 churches. And it's literally a church a night, break for a night, church a night for 2 nights, and then we'll have a couple of days holiday, and then we drive back up to Scotland. Now, it was deliberate, and I did engineer it that way. And I'm trying to do the same with Ireland, although there's a lot fewer churches in Ireland. But that's a medium from 7 hours drive away for some of those churches visiting their church. Now, in Scotland, you don't get many mediums traveling 7 hours to go and visit a church, but you will get a different medium every week. And there will be church mediums, but those mediums will be working in other churches, and they will only work in their own churches maybe once a year, or if the visiting medium, and I stress the word visiting medium, that week for some reason has cancelled or not turned up.
Interesting. Yeah.
So
traveling medium. It sounds like a great name for a band.
But there's a number of consequences from that. Number one, the mediums are not getting the proper experience that they need, because they're saying, I mean, bluntly, they're saying that if you're going to see a church medium and it's the same, okay, it's not going to be the same medium every week, but I mean, East Aurora, how many mediums did they have? 4 or 5, maybe
4
6?
or 5, yeah.
Yeah. So they're doing a service every week, and they are you're literally seeing the same medium once a month. Okay, so we've got a hi. Hi, Lynn. Nice to see you. So that's the first difference. Second difference is the mediums don't work long enough. That's probably related to the fact that they're not getting enough experience, but there's too much activity in the church service that stops the mediums working. I mean, again, I'm not trying to be critical, but East Aurora was a very good church. Don't get me wrong. Don't think I'm sitting here saying East Aurora is a bad church. East Aurora is one of the best spiritualist churches in America I've ever seen, and I've seen about 6 in total. But even there, their mediums were only working for 15 minutes and only giving 3 messages. The church president said she actually found it difficult to get her mediums to do more than 3 messages. Now, I took 4 of their mediums aside, gave them 10 minutes training on structure, got 4 of them up on platform, and each one of them delivered 1, 2, 3, or 4 messages like that, with no hesitation and no issue. And again, that just comes back to the way that they're trained and the experience that they get. Mm-hmm. So again, there's a difference.
There's a big difference.
Yeah. It's small things like that that have a big impact and a big difference. And getting outside of the churches, the biggest problem you've got with American mediumship is everybody's a self-discovered medium. And they don't know what they're doing. And then they think they know what they're doing. They are delusional. And then they go and teach other people how to do it. So you've got people doing training courses of crap. I'm sorry, but...
Well, it's because everyone can connect to spirit. Some people are just more open and they do it, but they don't... There's no way to, like, figure it out. You just have to figure it out. Like, there isn't, like... Yeah. You don't know who to turn to. It's not like you think, oh, I need to go to the spiritualist. Like, most people don't even know it exists. Like...
Yeah. Yeah, it's like what
and in most places in America, they don't exist. So
right. I tried to look for it on Google today near me, and Google didn't even know what the heck I was talking about. It found a witchcraft supply store, though. I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know this was in my neighborhood, but you know.
So Big secret, folks. Dee next week will be appearing at this store doing readings.
There we go.
Yeah. And then you've got, and then the other criticism, and this is a major criticism, you've got self-contained towns of spiritualists. You've got one in Florida, which I've never been to, and you've got one in New York as Lilydale. Now, they're great. The one in Lilydale is a great place to visit. Don't get me wrong. There's 4 churches there, and I've been in services of 2 of the churches, and I've had readings there. I've actually worked there. And there's a lot of stuff to go in, Fox Sisters, History Museum, all the rest of it. And they've got the festival during the year where people get in busloads and go there. But it's taking life out of the community and putting it in one place.
Right.
So I suppose, is that a reaction to the fact that there aren't spiritualist churches? Is that people going there because they can't work locally and they can't get themselves organized? Or is that sucking the lifeblood out of other areas because mediums are leaving to go to Lilydale?
I don't think so. I mean, not enough people aren't going to Lilydale or what's the place in Florida? I can't remember.
Can't remember the name. The basically the ones in Lilydale.
Yeah.
The ones that a lot of people.
I think it's more often viewed as like in the same vein as like stage magic or something, like a performance art more than a spiritual connection that, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's sort of just a different perspective on it. And that's probably because of the history of everything, you know?
Yeah, and when Americans want to go see a medium, they go see a stage show. They don't go to a church. They pay to get in. Casadega, thank you, Lynn.
Yeah, Lynn, that's right. I've heard that before. You're right. Spot on. Thank you. I am planning several tours of America next year, and I do want to go there.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'd like to go there too. I don't know why I've never been. I lived in Florida for 6 years.
Well, we're getting close to the time end. Unless anybody wants to say anything that challenges anything I've said, we've ended the 3 months in complete agreement, apart from the fact that my ego's too big. But apart from that,
it's okay. We'll knock you down a couple
pegs. We agree on something, believe it or not. That's a miracle. So we'll just enjoy this moment while it lasts, because it won't last till next week.
I have to say, I'm happy. Okay, well, I will just wrap up. Over 3 months, I believe that I have firmly proved that Scotland is the spiritual centre of the world, that Scotland is the invention centre of the world, that Scotland has affected the rest of the world on a bigger scale, given the size of the population.
Right.
We invented near enough everything worth inventing.
And it's very nice that you're so patriotic. So you just think that and you enjoy that thought, Mark.
Yeah.
So on that happy note, folks, it's been a pleasure. Next week we're talking about AI and spiritualism, and don't think we're talking about irrelevance. This is something that's going on outside. You cannot afford to put your head in the sand. If you're involved in spiritualism in any way, you seriously have to start developing your mediumship skills, because depending on what you do for a living, you may not have a job between 18 and 36 months. And that's a serious statement. It's not me just sitting here blowing a trumpet. We're going to be talking about serious people in the IT industry that are making that prediction. So on that happy note,
that's because their jobs will be gone.
So I'm going to click ending. So Lynn, been a pleasure. And
bye. See y'all next week.
Have a nice night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.